Most of you know that I'm not a famous comedian. Haven't been on TV, none of that. I got the ego of a famous comedian, for sure. I saw this guy the other day, and he was like, you look so familiar. I think I know you from somewhere. And I was like, yeah, man. Probably saw me down at the comedy club or something, down at Dr. Grin's. I was probably doing a set, and he was like, nah, I think I see you waiting for the bus all the time. He was right. Can you guys tell that I smoke weed? Just by looking at me, you can tell. Isn't it weird, the more you smoke weed, the more you just look like it? It's not like that with anything else. I eat yogurt all the fucking time. None of you can tell. When I got up here, no one was like, that's a Chobani man right there. Yo play, fruit on the bottom, all that. Did we vote to legalize weed? Yeah. 2 of us did. The rest of you are really pissed that people are smoking inside. No, actually, I didn't vote to legalize weed. That's because I support mom and pop businesses. That's me selling weed at my mom and my pop's house, all right? If you don't like that joke, it's your fault. I want a Peabody for that joke. For comic excellence. No, for real though, I'm glad that it's legal now so that stoners can stop calling it medicine. That was like 10 years. Who were we fooling with that? The guy I would get it from, he'd be like, oh, you want $40 worth of the medicine? What? Nobody in the medical community talks about medicine the way he does. I've never gone to CVS and the guy behind the counter is like, oh, I got a real good batch of medicine, want to do something with it? Let's try out this Perp Daddy insulin, dude. Let's see what that's all about. It's OG Kush amoxicillin, I got a bunch of it. I buy weed on my phone and I pick it up through a drive-thru now. That's insane. That is not lost on me. 16-year-old Mike would have think I'm lying. He wouldn't have believed that. 16-year-old Mike had to go to a Walmart parking lot and he would hand a stranger $40 and he'd be like, I'll be right back. And then you just hope he has Christ in his heart. That's Sometimes they didn't. It was so bad that one guy, he ripped me off for $40, and then seriously, like 3 months later, we were like, ah, fuck. We can't find it anywhere. And we called him up, and we gave him another $40. And he had not been born again yet. Let's move on. Let's talk about something more positive. Fucking sick of poor people. Yeah. Groan all you want. I'm obviously a poor myself. Doesn't mean everybody I know has to be poor. I need a rich guy in the crew. All my friends' houses suck. If they were listed on Zillow, they would be listed as cozy. Cars are all loud. Everyone has to decide who drives if we're going over an hour. I cleaned them up, but there's usually chip bags all over my fucking yard. Somebody's throwing these chip bags, and it's not me. And then you can tell the area is getting more gentrified because it used to be Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and the other day I saw a bag of organic pretzels. I was like, what the fuck? You ever try to plan something out with your poor friends? Don't even start. It's just gonna make you sad. I started a group text with my friends. I was like, hey, you guys want to go to Cedar Point this summer? Or maybe we'll all go and get the fast pass or something. It'll be fun. And everyone's like, no, I gotta work every day for the rest of my life. gonna go look at the Bernie Sanders website. Guys, remember Andrew Yang? He was talking about universal income, that whatever it was. They give you $1,000 a month. Where'd that idea go? No one's talking about that anymore. It's a fucking campaign I could get on board with. I did find something that makes me feel good about being poor. Because I'm a bartender, and I get a lot of cash tips. And what I do, instead of putting them in the bank like a responsible human being, what I do is I put them on a table. I just call it money table. Ooh-wee, do I love looking at money table. If you're feeling poor, do it, dude. Go to the bank, get $100 in ones, throw it on a table, dude. You're gonna feel like fucking Jeff Bezos in no time. It looks like $1,000, but it's probably closer to 50. It's a pile, though, I'll tell you that. If you guys are wondering where I put it, you'll never know. You can usually see money table from my window, which seems irresponsible. But I got a 22, dude. I'll fucking... It's not going to send you to the hospital, but it'll hurt. It's going to hurt. I shop at the Family Dollar. Yeah, that's a depressing statement, I know. I got this shirt from the Family Dollar. I already have this shirt, and it had a stain on it that wouldn't come out. So I literally, today, went back and just got another one. You guys try it out, dude. They got disposable clothing. It's sick. I got a $10 pair of joggers. The zipper broke in a day. I was like, I'll just go get more. Fuck that. Fucking fix this. I don't like that at Family Dollar that the cat food is in the same aisle as the people food. One time it was just the Family Dollar right over there. And I was walking in, it was summertime. There's a trash can right here that's just filled to the brim, swarming with bees. Right next to it is a deranged-looking gentleman in a Victorian armchair. I remind you, this is out front of the Family Dollar. I don't know where he got it, but it was there. And there was a bunch of young kids, they were doing this thing, they were like inching closer to him. And then when they would get too close, he'd take a big blast of Febreze. I didn't know you could blast Febreze, but he was doing it. Take a big blast of Febreze, he'd go, and they'd all run away. And I saw that and just continued shopping. Another day at the Family Dollar. Yeah. Surprise! I know it's closed all the time, guys. She knows. We got a fellow Family Dollar member here. They have had a plywood door for roughly 3 years. Go into the Family Dollar, dude. You feel like you're the belle of the ball. They try to upsell me in there. A guy who regularly drops $30 at the Family Dollar, they're like, uh-oh, here comes the whale. Holy shit. He's not arguing about the prices? Whoa. Oh. I grew up in the 90s, like probably a lot of you did. I don't romanticize the 90s like a lot of people my age do. You know, everyone's like, oh, the 90s, you know, they got 90s nights down at bars and stuff. People are like, oh, the Rugrats were so awesome. Notorious B.I.G. is so awesome. It's like, yeah, I can listen to all of it for free now. I couldn't do that before. We played the same episode of Rugrats all fucking day. Now I got Paramount Plus, I can watch all seasons all day. Whenever I want. I can go upstairs right now and watch it. I just remember being bored all the time in the 90s. The other thing I remember about the 90s is littering. You guys might not remember, but in the 90s, Littering was hot, dude. That was very cool to litter. I specifically remember I was at a busy intersection with my aunt, and she was driving me to school with rush hour traffic. And we're stopped at a traffic light, and she just starts emptying out McDonald's bags. A bunch of McDonald's bags out the window. Nobody said anything. There was like 50 cars around us. In the 90s, you wouldn't get mad about something like that. If you saw something like that in the 90s, you'd be like, I got a bunch of fucking trash in my car too. I'm just sitting here like an idiot. I could be productive. Clean out my car while I'm waiting. I dare you to try to do that in your ride home. I dare you to try to just throw a single water bottle out your car window. Somebody will get out of their car, they'll be filming you already, and they're just gonna whip it back at your head and post it on YouTube. It's gonna get 1 million views. They're all gonna be, I fucking hope you die, you piece of shit. I hope your fucking kids die. It's not what it would have been like in the 90s. If you got mad about someone littering in the 90s like that, they what are they going to do? Come out of their car with their big 90s camera? Looking through the little viewfinder. Hey man, I don't think it's very cool that you're littering. You know what would happen then? They'd call you gay. You're like, get out of here, you fucking gay one. That was another thing that was hot in the 90s, homophobia. Very hot. They had commercials that were like, hey guys, stop being so homophobic. And they're like, no, fuck you. No. Is that what's going on at these 90s nights? Because if it is, I kind of want to go. Just get to fucking throw your trash on the ground. Say all the words you're not allowed to say anymore. Midget. It's all cool. It's all cool. '80s night, you just are legally allowed to drive your car drunk. Blast cocaine off the dashboard. Cops pull you over, they're like, man, you were swerving all over the road. How much you had to drink tonight? And he's like, I was just at 80s night. He's like, sorry to bother you. Take a little sip-ski here. Look at this. Got the finest non-alcoholic beer. Wow, sad. I bought non-alcoholic beer to sell here. I got a 12-pack of it. And I left it on the bottom of the grocery cart, and I put it back in the thing, and I didn't realize it till I got home. And I know some teenagers found it and were like, yes! And then they saw the giant NA, and they're like, what kind of fucking pussy? I see why they left it behind. They bought the wrong beer. Oh. We got any grammar Nazis in the house? No? Yeah. Wait until I post something on Facebook, then you guys are all talk. If grammar Nazis exist, then I am a grammar Anne Frank, dude. Hiding from these motherfuckers. Triple proofreading. I posted something on Facebook and a lady corrected my grammar and I was like, I get it, you're smarter than me. Do you feel better now? And then she's like, no. I'm just trying to correct your grammar so you can clearly communicate, so people can understand you better. And I was like, that's not how English works. English works in context. See, I'll do an example. What we got? Your drink is right there. See, we all know what that means. No one thought I just said, your drink is right there. That's what she was correcting. I would argue that proper grammar makes things harder to understand, especially when you're learning the language. When I was young, I was playing a game called GoldenEye on the N64. And in that game, there's a mission that's called Rendezvous. Now, I don't know if you guys seen that word spelled out recently. There's a Z in that bitch. And I was doing what they told me to do when you were young. Sound it out. Sound it out. So I sounded it out. I had also never seen a James Bond movie. So I thought that there was a Bond villain called Rensvaus. And you complete the mission, all you do is meet up with a scientist. And I was like, oh, Rensvaus must be a good guy. We got any wrestling fans in the house? I figured there'd be a couple. Oh, I'm a big wrestling fan, always have been. A lot of things. One thing that wrestling fans like to talk about is like fantasy booking, like a dream match or whatever. And I was talking to my buddy. He's like, I want to see Ric Flair in the '80s versus The Rock in the '90s. I was like, hell yeah, that'd be a good match. It's not my dream match, ladies and gentlemen. Mine's been the same since I was a little kid. It is Hulk Hogan versus my stupid ass stepdad. Can't wait till Hulkamania runs wild on Steve. You don't know what to do. My ex-girlfriend didn't like pro wrestling, as ex-girlfriends tend to do. And we lived in a super small apartment. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. And they put my favorite wrestling documentary on Netflix. It's called Beyond the Mat. It's very good. And I was super excited to watch it. I was like, hey, if you want to watch this documentary with me? She's like, I don't want to watch wrestling right now. I'm just going to go in my room and look at my phone. I was like, okay. So I'm watching it. I'm getting super into it. Like, I forget she's even there. And it gets to my favorite part, is the part with the wrestler Jake the Snake. Now, you guys, if you know him, you're probably thinking of Jake the Snake from the 80s. This was the late 90s, and Jake the Snake was not doing so good. Didn't even have a snake no more. Just called him Jake. Crippling cocaine addiction. There's a part where he's in the hotel room probably at 3, 4 in the morning, and he's talking to the filmmaker, and he's like, you don't know what it's like out on the road. You can have a different girl every night. You get a little more famous, you can have 2 girls a night, 2 girls at the same time. You get on TV, win the championship belt, you can have 3 girls at the same time. 3 girls with toys, and you're in the corner just watching. Weirder and weirder. And then you go home, try to make love to your wife. Ain't no way. I hear this, I think is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And so I go into the bedroom and tell my girlfriend, and I was like, you want to hear something funny? She's like, yeah, and I do the whole thing. You're out on the road. I do the whole thing. And she's like, I just heard that. This apartment's super tiny. And it was very sad. I don't know why you think that's funny. I was like, all right, I'm the comedian here. I'll decide what's funny and what isn't. This one's funny, for sure. She was annoyed by it, so I do it to her all the time, you know. Like, come home from work and be like, you come home to your wife. Like, you guys want to be... She's like, hey, do you want to help me when my parents do a yard sale this weekend? I'm like, ain't no way. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to sit down for a second here. Ooh, it's getting a little hot in here, isn't it? I realized recently that I missed the boat on summer camp. My friends were all standing around talking about summer camp stories. I was like, I wish I had one, dude. This sounds awesome. Just talking about bow and arrow and going swimming or something. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about, but it sounded fun. I'm too old to have anything to do with summer camp now. 33 is too old to have anything to do with it. Because what? Like the kids that are like 10, the counselors are 16, the managers are 20. If you're 33, you should own the franchise. You can't just start at owner. You have to like go through it your whole life. Like when you look like me, you can't go to a bank and tell them that you want to start your own summer camp. Had a meeting with the bank manager, and he's like, I'm going to put you on the list for this, right? Put you on the list of people who ask bank managers strange questions. How am I going to save my dignity in that? Still be like not downtrodden. I'm like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, sir. But I'm not going to let some sexual predator list keep me from achieving my dreams. That last part would sound pretty crazy out of context, wouldn't it? If you were walking down the street and someone was like, I'm not letting some sexual predator list keep me from achieving my dreams, you'd be like, get the fuck away from this guy. Yeah. You guys want to hear some inspirational sayings? I like inspirational sayings. I like that they're vague. You can, oh no. My fucking house is falling apart. It's all right, none of this matters. My favorite inspirational saying, though, is dance like no one's watching. I love it. Usually you'll see it on Facebook with like a mountain in the background. Means someone recently got divorced. I came up with a few of my own that are to the tune of Dance Like No One's Watching. One of my favorites is, fuck like you can afford child support. Fart like you've never shit your pants. See a couple of you in the back not laughing, dude. I'm like, fuck, I really need to use the bathroom. They just said I can't. Drink like someone else is driving. I told that joke once in Lowell, Michigan. And then later, like 10 minutes later, a guy in the audience is like, I'm a cop and so are all these guys. And I was like, you know that part earlier? These are all jokes, buddy. These are definitely jokes. I've never done that. I get excited when celebrities die. I don't wish ill on anyone, but when it happens, I like when it happens. Because you'll see it, and then you say it to someone, they're like, whoa, that's crazy. And then you feel good because you said something interesting. The internet has stolen that from all of us. We know that people are going to die before they die. It'll be like a day before. They're like, yeah, Prince is probably going to die soon here. And then it was like an hour later, they're like, maybe not. And then an hour later, it's like, yeah, for sure. I gave it like 5 hours. One time, I was at a Magic the Gathering tournament. This is one of the few places where people aren't glued to their phones, focusing on the match. It's important. We're all playing, and into it. And there's an odd amount of people, so there's one person who's not playing. He's just kind of like waiting for his turn. And he's looking at his phone. And he pipes up to all of us and he goes, hey, does anybody here like basketball? I'm like, what? And one of the other guys is like, you're at a Magic the Gathering tournament, dude. No. We're all fucking high-fiving. Like, yeah, dude. Nerds only in here. Why don't you go have sex with someone? You're so fucking cool. And then the match was over, and I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I looked at my phone, and I saw Kobe Bryant had died. And I was like, wait, was that what he was going to tell us? And then he just stopped because none of us know like basketball? know who he is, dude. You could have told us. I feel like if Michael Jordan died, and you're like, hey, has anyone here ever seen Space Jam? You're like, no. It's like, you wouldn't get it, though. You wouldn't know this guy. Oh, I painted this myself. You guys could act more impressed. Literally 2 weeks ago, there was a gigantic piece of wallpaper that just fell down by itself. And I didn't even have to use wallpaper stripper. I just pulled it off with my hands. All of it. My landlords are insane about it. They're always like trying to find some way that it's the tenant's fault, and it's usually a stretch. Like she found a dead mouse she was like snaking the drains once. She found a dead mouse, and she's like, I don't know, there's some kind of bones in here. You guys, you just can't flush chicken bones down the toilet. I told her that there was mold in the bathroom, and she's like, well, are you guys turning the fan on when you take a shower? And I was like, that's not how that works. And then I told her about all the pressure cracks. So look, you can see one right behind you. You see that? They're all over the house. It means the foundation is sinking. And I told her that, and she paused for a second. And I was like, I know she thought of one, and she didn't say it because it was too stupid. What was she gonna say? Like, do you guys have like a lot of sumo wrestling in here? Are they all sleeping in the same bedroom for like 10 years? Do you have any cars inside? I got a virtual reality headset, and I got it because a comedian built a comedy club in the VR world. It's very strange, and it's about as strange as you would imagine. But the audio in this is really good. So the audio when you're wearing it works essentially the same way it would work if you were walking down a real street. So I'm walking down what's essentially like a theater district during the day. That was when I first got it. And they got I call them cops, but they're community guidelines people. They have a little green tag, and they're being like, hey, how can I help you? And then if you're getting too crazy, they're gonna kick you out. And everyone's super polite during the day. They're like, oh, isn't this fun? We're playing laser tag, pew, 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 watching a little comedy. They got like a thing where they're playing like 360 videos of famous comedians. I go and I watch Nikki Glaser for a second, and they edit it. They were even editing shit, dude. And I was like, this is so cute. I love this. But then I turned it on back at night. At night, it's a lot different. There's no cops around. And it works the same way. It's like you're walking down the street, you'll just hear snippets of people's conversations. And so I walk out of the little theater, and the first thing I hear is, but ain't it hard to nut on that?
What?
And then the other guy goes, I don't know, man. I just know I was high as shit, and I was fucking all night. A lot of it is similar to what it's like in real life. I went to an alternative school. Do you guys know what alternative school is? Yeah, no teenage criminals in the house now? I was. When you get in trouble with the law when you're young, a lot of times they'll send you to an alternative school because doing bad in school is a probation violation. So they said there's a lot of teenage pregnancies, a lot of kids who are on probation, and just general white trash. We had a smoking section at my high school. That's how you know you went to a prestigious academy. And we would smoke weed in the smoking section. We had a little stoner crew. And in my little stoner crew, there was a guy, we called him Half Bullsworth. So every time you asked him if he could throw down on the joint, he'd be like, I can't, I only got a half Bullsworth. It's like, where are you buying a half Bullsworth from? You only have it. It's like, I got enough money for about 4 hits, dude. I was like, all right. Guess that'll be $3.87. I know. One time we were all smoking together, and there was a couple, the guy and the girl, they were doing what's called shotgunning weed. And shotgunning weed is pretty intimate, and it's something that you would do with someone that you're dating or like at least attracted to. It's where you take a hit, you put your lips on the other person's lips, and you blow the smoke into their mouth. And we're treating it like that. We're like heckling them, you know, like, oh, get out, go get a room, you know, get out of here with that shotgun and stuff. And then half Bullsworth pipes up, and he's like, no, dude, shotgun is awesome. You get so high shotgunning. Me and my dad do that. Excuse me? We didn't call him half Bullsworth after that, no. We just stopped fucking talking to him. Out of the crew. I don't know how much you guys know about goth people, but it's okay. I know you're goth. It's okay. I know that you grew up goth. We had so many goth people in my alternative school that we had like rivaling factions. The names that I gave them is one was the Invader Zim Goths. You guys can probably imagine what they look like. They just look like they go to Hot Topic a lot. Then the other goth crew that I liked, I called them just Robert Smith. And one time there was 2 girls from rivaling factions that were getting in a fight. And they're arguing with each other. One of these girls' name is Yoda. She's small, she had pointy ears. She was okay with that name. She was fine with it. She liked that nickname. Now the other girl's nickname, she did not come up with this one herself. Other girl's nickname was Frog Bitch. Now, I cannot explain it to you, but if I had a picture, you'd be like, yeah, there's something froggy about that bitch. Froggy bitch right there. And Yoda had the best line, dude. She stopped the fight before it even started. She had a cup of ramen noodles, and she just looked down at it, and she looked at her, and she said, eat this, frog bitch. It's over, dude. Frog bitch could have beat the shit out of Yoda, but it wouldn't have mattered. Yoda still won. Okay, so you look very scared. I'm sorry. Is it okay? Are you worried that you're going to bump him? It's okay. He bumps back, baby. It's my favorite thing to say. It's when someone says they're trying to fuck me, but they don't know that I fuck back. Fuck back. Alright, fuck it. I guess I'm just gonna go way long. I don't give a shit. Woo! Everyone else is like, it's hot as shit here. No. How about you don't? I went to rehab. You guys know that, I guess. Yeah, that's the appropriate response to that. But I just got my 4-month chip this week. 4 months sober. Holy shit! Who's back there? You're not clapping in the back. Clap your fucking hands, or I'm gonna relapse. I'll grab that bottle of whiskey right now, and it'll be your fault. I'll call you every time I get drunk. Should be roughly every day around 4 p.m. Rehab seems like it's pretty scary. I had been to jail before for selling weed when I was young. That's how old I am. My criminal record makes me feel old. So not only did I go to jail for having weed, it was bad weed. Both of those things don't exist here anymore. It's like, let me tell you a story about 2006. But in jail, like, jail's pretty rough. People try to punk you out. You got to be aware of what you're doing. You learn pretty quick, or otherwise someone's going to hit you with a fucking lunch tray. And I'm expecting the same thing out of rehab. And I get in there, and I see this guy. He's sitting there like this. He just like, he looks sick. And he's just like cramming bread into his mouth. And a guy walks by, and he's like, "What'd I say about those fucking shorts, man?" I was like, "Oh, where am I?" This is terrible. And then I'm like shaking and withdrawing, like doing my intake. And this guy's like, "Are you going to eat your food?" And I was like, "Please don't talk to me about food. This is not the all right, I'm already getting this fucking jail shit immediately." And then I go and into my room and setting up my stuff. And my bunkie's like, "Well, you picked a great day to be here. Because that guy that's sitting over there with the bread, he just shit his pants and he refuses to change his shorts." I was like, okay, maybe the shorts thing makes more sense now. Wasn't that mean about it. And the other guy was just hungry. He was not mad at me at all. He just figured when people come in, they don't like to eat their lunch, and he was going to eat it. Really, rehab is like an adult daycare. It's not scary at all. It's just a ton of adult men coloring. All fucking day, dude. They love coloring. We got movie night. Everyone's super excited about snack time. I saw like a full-blown 60-year-old alcoholic. He's got the big red nose, and he looks at the lunch lady, and he's like, "What's for lunch tomorrow?" And she's like, "Chicken patties." And he's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude!" Made his whole day. In the rehab that I went to, when I was pulling my dresser drawer open to put my clothes in, it was just filled with ranch packets. I don't have a joke for this, but I just want you to know what your tax dollars are paying for. It was the poor people rehab. You guys paid for it in some way. Paid for me to have value. They don't let you smoke in there. They just load you up. I was doing the patch and the gum, dude. That's all people talk about is smoking, dude. At that point, you're like, yeah, fucking quit and drink. It's easy, dude. Just give me a goddamn cigarette. And someone had snuck in a little nicotine vape. And my bunkie was like, "Check it out, dude." He's like, "Go in the bathroom and you can rip on this." I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude." We were all passing it around to each other. We're like, "Hell yeah, dude. We got a vape. This is awesome." And then the next day, everyone got COVID. And then I was like, God, I can't put it in his asshole. God damn it. During COVID day, there was nothing going on. And there's one TV for all of us. And on Friday nights, they play wrestling. And most of the time, I'm not going to argue about people argue about the TV all day. I'm not going to argue about it. I don't give a shit. I don't need to see Paul Blart again. I watched it 3 times in the 5 days I was there. So on Friday nights, they play wrestling. And I'm like, I'm putting my foot down. I'm going to watch wrestling for 1 hour. You guys can deal with it. And so I'm sitting there by myself, and everyone's walking in. It's like, we're watching wrestling? I was like, I don't know, all right. And I kind of leave. And then one guy's like super into it. He comes in, he's like, fuck yeah, dude, you watching AEW? I was like, yeah, you know, you're like, watch current wrestling? He's like, yeah, I do. And then this guy, you might remember from earlier, he's the guy who shit his pants and refused to change. Sitting next to him, he stinks, dude. He's still got doo-doo in his drawers. And not only is he a big fan of wrestling, we share all the same opinions. He was like, man, MJF is one of my favorite wrestlers. I was like, me too, dude. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to agree with you anymore. I'm sitting there just looking at the side of his face. He's like maybe 20 years older than me, looks kind of like me, and I was like, holy shit, this is the Ghost of Christmas Future. Turn my act around. Otherwise, I'm going to be the one sitting there with doo-doo drawers being like, remember John Cena? I don't go to group therapy or AA as much as I should. What I do is I watch Intervention all fucking day. Just feel good about myself. You know that you are an alcoholic if you see the rehabs they go to and be like, dude, I just go there on vacation. What are you talking? You can go outside? You don't have 4 people in your room? You don't got doo-doo drawers? Fucking beach or something? I love Intervention because it's very formulaic, you know? The first part is like all chaotic and it's playing the music and it's like, I fucking hate you! Like all out of context. You're like, whoa, this episode's gonna be nuts. And then it goes to my favorite part, which is like when they were a kid. And it'll play like nice music and it'll be like their parents interviewing them and they'll be like, I don't know what went wrong. They used to play Little League. And play like a picture of them playing Little League. The people I feel real bad for are the people who just don't even have any, they never went to Little League or anything. So what they do for those people is they just keep showing the same picture of a baby over and over again. And the producers are like, can we think of one nice thing to say about this person? And they're like, well, one time he was a baby. That's about all we got. He was a baby who did not smoke meth. That was his high mark. In the later seasons, they switch it up because it gets pretty predictable. And so what they started doing around like season 11 or 12, they started doing something I really like. Is they do like an intervention inside the intervention. It's like a curveball. And so it'll be like all these people being super righteous. They'll be like, I'll do anything to help my family. I would do anything. And then when they're like doing the pre-interview, the interventionist will drop a bomb on them. They'll be like, hey, Mom, we know you're drinking too much too. And we think you should go to rehab. Ooh, it's exciting. When you put an alcoholic on the spot, they do not know what to say. And alcoholic excuses are pretty bad, but when you put them on the spot, they get real bad. So this lady, they're like, you need to go to rehab too. And she's like, no. I don't drink like that. I don't drink in the morning, and I don't drink downstairs. All right, well, you guys, my name is Michael Bussler. And I'm going to go drink upstairs.